call is answered. A new fate opens its door. A voice once shaped by love has fallen into a whisper that beckons despair. When desire entwined with the curse, her song twisted into a force that stirred the darkness.
Their last breaths were a delight. Yours will be, too, soon enough.
Mom, today, your daughter-in-law has said you always loved food at her house. Tonight will be a warm dinner, so you sit at the table.
The soup was still simmering, and the table waited in silence. But dinner never began. A single meal became someone's final promise.
The priest didn't pray until the end. He picked up a sword. He fought to
The blood and fear, that's our path.
They've gone quiet.
Brutals don't just cause pain to those who fall in battle. The ones left behind, they're the reason we fight to survive. The children you meet at the camp, the merchants on the road. Everyone you'll meet carries a story of their own. Some have lost everything to the Brutals. Others live each day in tears for their families, consumed by the void. Listen to their stories. Help them find what they need. Because you were the first guardian.
The Relic, First Guardian is an upcoming dark fantasy action role-playing game developed by Project Cloud Games and published by Perp Games, scheduled to release on May 26, 2026 for PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC via Steam, and it is framed as a semi-open world journey of forgotten voices set in Arsiltus, a once prosperous land that was swallowed by a catastrophic void after the destruction of a great relic. The player takes the role of the First Guardian, not as a celebrated Chosen One hero, but as a restorer of memory whose mission is to recover the broken relic's pieces, unravel the riddle of what happened to Arsiltus, and seal the darkness while piecing together the final traces and stories of the people who vanished. Structurally, it blends free-roaming exploration with story-driven progression through apocalyptic regions, dungeons, and major encounters, and it distinguishes itself mechanically with a combat philosophy built around freedom in attack. Offensive actions do not consume stamina, while stamina is reserved for survival decisions such as dodging and defensive play, and active skills are designed to consume no resource beyond cooldown timing, aiming for a fast, expressive flow that encourages constant initiative rather than conservative chip damage. At the outset, players choose from 5 distinct weapon archetypes, each intended to create a different combat rhythm and emotional style, and each weapon style is supported by extensive specialization options, described as multiple exclusive skill trees per weapon, that let players combine abilities into a personalized build rather than locking into fixed classes. Progression is also intentionally non-traditional for an RPG. Characters do not level up in the usual experience point sense, instead becoming stronger through runes, equipment, items, and crafting, with advancement tied to conquering challenges, completing dungeons, and defeating bosses to expand capability and open further traversal and combat options. The loot structure is pitched as curated rather than infinite stat churn, emphasizing that each weapon and armor piece is unique in the world, not repeated, slightly better variants, and often treated as an artifact with narrative weight, reinforcing the game's broader storytelling goal of turning exploration into a kind of archaeological act, where small objects, ruined places, and enemy remnants communicate tragedy and history. Overall, the Relic First Guardian is positioned as a Souls-like adjacent action RPG in presentation and boss-driven intensity, but with its own identity anchored in a folktale-like tone, memory restoration theme, and an aggressive, stamina-light attack model paired with buildcraft through runes and crafted progression rather than traditional leveling. Now you can enjoy a few screenshots without any interruption. Enjoy!